Hello. How is everybody doing today? I hope you are doing blessed and favored. I hope you are doing well and enjoying this beautiful Friday. So, excuse my glasses, everybody. My allergies are like all over the place, so I have to wear my glasses today. I wanted to come and do a video and introduce myself, tell a little bit of my story, just, kind of have a casual story time. Well, my name is Amanda Denise, and I am a certified life coach. I specialize in life coaching 101, basically abundant lifestyle, abundant living. I specialize in those who have suffered with any kind of sexual trauma, any kind of abuse, anything that's related to mental illness. I specialize in those things, and I help to heal you. I have a 4-week training course that basically is a lot of work. I did the course myself. I went through the course with my own life coach who guided me through and helped me through this, and it was very beneficial to me. I can say it has definitely given me a boost of confidence. It has healed me, and right now I'm the most healed person I know other than my life coach. So I can say that it is proven, it works. I went from the verge of suicide to where I am today, and it is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. I wanted to come on and kind of share a little bit of my story. Now, I won't share it all in this video because it is a very long story, but my journey has been bumpy, to say the least. Years ago, now I've dealt with depression since I was a young child. I've dealt with bipolarism since I was a young child, but I was not diagnosed until I was in my 30s, because in the Black community, mental illness is excused, it's brushed off, people don't care about it, they say it doesn't exist, that it's a demon, that you're crazy if you go and seek help, if you get pills to help you live day to day, something's wrong with you. No, it's an imbalance that I've been suffering with, and a lot of it stemmed from childhood trauma. And I say that because as a child I was molested. I was sexually molested for several years, from the age of 3 to about the age of 14. When it stopped, I went on to live a reckless life growing up. I was a good kid in high school, middle school, elementary school. I graduated number 3 in my class. I had scholarships, but I turned all of that down because I felt like I wasn't enough. I was told that I wasn't enough. My family didn't support me. My parents didn't support me. It was a lot of things that I went through that basically broke me. As a child, my spirit was broken. My emotional state was broken. My confidence was broken. I was broken. And I went to the military for a very short time. My grandmother got sick and I came back home. I was dismissed because I didn't pass the psyche eval, so I was sent home. And that's when in the military I found out that I had PTSD. PTSD really bad from my childhood trauma. I was molested by family members. I was molested by friends of the family, my mom's boyfriends. Like, I was molested by my dad. So it was a lot of things going on in my childhood that I couldn't control, and nobody would actually listen to me and help me. I had one family that did help me a little bit when I was in high school. Was it high school? Like my 9th or 10th grade year in high school, I had a family that really helped me. They took me in when I got put out because my mom's boyfriend was touching on me and she wouldn't make him stop. So I just want to say that everything that I say is coming from a place of forgiveness and peace. So I don't want you to think that I'm doing this for any validation, because I'm not. This is to help someone else who's gone through these things, to help them heal. And back to the story, this family helped me substantially. They helped me grow. They helped give me some confidence, so I was able to get through that time. Well, once I did go back home, I fell right back into depression. I ended up trying to commit suicide in high school, and instead of them getting me treatment, they wrote me off as a bad kid, that I had a problem, but nobody would actually send me to get any help. So I needed help then. I feel like if I had have gotten the help that I needed then, I would have been a much better person. Like, I would have been well. I would have been able to go through life and succeed, instead of being in my 30s trying to figure out where I am in my life. But now I know, and this is the path that I'm going to be on. In my 20s, I basically lived a reckless life. My mom told me one day she didn't care whether I lived or died, and that right there was the straw that broke the camel's back. I began smoking weed. I began drinking excessively. I was abusing pills. You name it, I was doing it. I never got into anything hardcore, and I do thank God for that. And I know that's crazy. You're thanking God that you didn't get on any hardcore drugs, but you were doing weed, alcohol, and pills. I know. But I thank God that it wasn't worse, because I met my son's dad at the time, and we were both living extremely reckless. I didn't care. I mean, you got your parent on one end telling you they don't care if you lived or you died, and then you got this person over here saying, oh, it's okay, this helps numb the pain. So I did it to numb everything. I didn't want to feel the pain that I had inside of me. Like, I wanted to fill a void. So I smoked weed, I abused pills, I abused alcohol, just to fill that void that was in my heart. Like, I just wanted to fill a void. So I eventually got pregnant, which prompted me to stop everything I was doing and tend to my son. Well, while I was pregnant, my son's father became abusive, verbally, mentally, spiritually, physically, sexually. When I was in the hospital for 3 days when I found out I was pregnant, I was very sick. I had dehydration and a lot of things. It was just really bad. I was in the hospital for several days, and that is when my mom wanted to be a mom. She found out I was pregnant and she wanted to step up and be a mom. Great. I needed her then, and she stepped up for the time that I was pregnant. And during the pregnancy, my son's dad beat me. I have a gash above my eyebrow where he pulled me by my legs and my head hit the end of a cabinet, the sharp end of a cabinet door. He raped me several times while I was pregnant. And when I did go to the police, they said, oh, you're pregnant, it was consensual. They wouldn't even write a report. They wouldn't look twice at me, even though I had this big ass gash in my head, and they didn't care. So I gave up. I went home and I said, God, this is not me. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not the journey that I'm supposed to be on. So I took everything that I had and I ran, and I didn't look back, because I wanted to get away from the abuse. I wanted to get away from everything else. So I ran. I went back to this family that helped me. They let me stay with them for a couple of days, and then I came back home and had the baby. Well, everything was great for the time being, and I started suffering from postpartum depression. When my baby was 6 weeks old, I attempted suicide by overdose. I took a lot of Percocets and a lot of hydrocodones. Ended up having to get my stomach pumped. It was an eye-opening event at that time because I had a son to look after, and excuse me, and I knew that I had to be a better mom. You know, I didn't want my son to go in the system. I didn't want anything to happen to him, so I had to be a better mom, right? So fast forward 6 months later, I met my husband. Best day of my life. We have been inseparable since 2011, and it has been great. But some things happened along the way. I made some bad decisions. I became what doctors say manic. I went untreated for so long that the disease ended up taking over my mind, over my actions, over my body. I became manic. And in the manic, I fed off of power. I was getting a lot of attention. I'm easy on the eyes. So I was getting a lot of attention from men. I was getting a lot of attention from men. And it gave me power. Like I felt I fed off of that. Like I fed off of the attention. I fed off of being wanted, and ended up talking to one of the guys and nearly had an affair on my husband. And it was an eye-opening event for me, because now here I am married and talking to this other person, dealing with this other person. Thankfully, the physical affair didn't happen, but there was an emotional affair. And that could be the worst thing, because I like I said, I fed off of the power that it gave me. And during the mania, you don't have control. You feed off of energy. You feed off of power. I was manic. I was going. You couldn't stop me. It didn't matter. I was going. So during this time, I was praise and worship leader at a church. And now I was manic for some years. Mania can last from days, hours, weeks, months, years. Depends on when if you're not treated, it can last for a really long time. So for me, it lasted maybe a span of a year or two. And I had all the energy in the world. I would be gone all the time, in the streets all the time. I was singing, feeding off of people liking me and wanting me. I was singing for the wrong reasons. I was singing for the applause. I wasn't singing for God. And that's where my energy came from. And I'm being honest with you. I wasn't singing for God. I was singing for me, because I liked how it made me feel. And I think that's why the gift is gone. I no longer sing. And I accept that, because that was a decision that I made. Even though I was manic, that still was a decision that I processed and a decision that I made. And through that, I was accused, even though nothing happened, I was accused of sleeping with the minister of music at the church, or the assistant minister of music at the church. I was being harassed by church members. I was being harassed by the man's wife. I was accused for causing their divorce. I couldn't even go in public without people approaching me from the church, asking me, was it true? When I walk into church, I can hear there's their home wrecker, there's that hoe, there's this, there's that. And I'm like, these are church folk feeding into this bullshit. Like, it was a lot of drama. So it came and it came and it came. And eventually, when I thought it had died down, we were in the living room one night, and where am I? And I'm at 14 minutes, so we should be okay. So my husband gets this message on Facebook from this person. I forgot what he called himself, DJ King or something like that. And it was saying like all these lies about me sleeping with this person and that person, and that he was a cool dude, that he should leave me, and all of this, that, and third. And I was like, that's not true. Like, that's when the church started attacking me, that's when the mania started to go away. That's when the depression started kicking in. And that's the thing with bipolar. When you go from mania, you go to depression. When you come out of that mania, you're gonna fall right into depression. And that's when it began. So after that, he got the message or whatever, and I was just defeated. I was done. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna get it over with. I feel like I'd be better off. I made the mistakes, and now it's coming back to bite me in the ass. Like, it was a rough moment for me. So I ended up falling into a really deep depression for a few months. Like, a few months. Never went and got treated for it. Fast forward, found out I was pregnant, had the baby, fell deeper. I was pretty much depressed my whole pregnancy. It wasn't a good pregnancy. Had the baby, probably she was maybe 4 to 5 months old, I believe. I ended up trying to commit suicide. I put a gun in my mouth. Basically, that day I woke up, I said I had had enough. I was being bullied online. I was being bullied in the streets. Rumors were going about, people trying to break up my marriage. Like, I had enough. Like, I rock bottom for me. So I just felt like, okay, I'm done. And I put a gun in my mouth. I told a group of people when I woke up, just a very small group of people, that I was going to kill myself. Like, that was it. I was going to kill myself. I didn't care about anything. The world would be better off without me. So I drove up the street, pulled my service weapon, well, not my service weapon, I'm not a police officer, but my gun, I put it in my mouth. At that time, the sheriff came. And basically, I had to go to the hospital. It was in the hospital that I realized that my calling is to actually tell my story to help someone else. All the suffering that I went through as a child, all the suffering that I went through as an adult, the mistakes that I made, the choices that I made, those are things that I use in my journey to help people. And even in the hospital, my therapist said, because I was ministering to the other folks, like, I didn't even realize that I was ministering to my peers, the people that were in the hospital with me during group session. I was ministering to them, and my therapist said, and it was so gratifying, and my therapist said, are you sure you don't need to be a therapist or a counselor or something? Because you're giving better advice than I can give right now. And they're hearing it coming from someone who's actually dealing with what they're dealing with. And that's when I knew that, okay, God, what are you trying to tell me? And I fell to my knees when I got back to my room, and I remember saying, God, have your way in my life. Remove anything negative. Help me to be the best I can be for you. Live through me and remove me. And I remember saying that. And I said, God, whatever journey you got me going on now, I'm ready for it. So, I'm going to stop right there because my phone is dying. So I'll do a part 2 video of this soon, hopefully within the next couple of minutes after I charge my phone. But I'm going to upload this. Hope you guys watch it. And I will see you guys in a bit. Peace.